I know the game, never till it's dog go missing. Hit the club, picking up deposits, hit the club, show off my bitches. Hit the pants, but I cut it, but I never let them know all my misses. You fucked up, get it back, gon' pick how it do all my dishes. I could never leave the game alone if I did, I know I'm a miss.
Chat, what we doing, chat? Hey, my man ready to holler at chat. That's a bet. That's a bet, bro. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, bro. I got my man Snell Scholars in the building. In the building, man. In the building. How you feeling today, brother?
Alhamdulillah, man. Got a good 3 miles in a day.
Oh, yeah?
Can't complain, bro.
Oh, you ran some 3 miles today? Dang.
Ran my first 5K, bro.
How was that? That was your first one? Yeah, how was that?
Man, it's just different, like, just running, especially by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might run that distance already, but the 5K joint, bro, you run it with, like, a group. Everybody, you know, on their own pace. And
like marathon.
Yeah. That vibe different, because especially if y'all don't know each other, like you see people start walking and all that. It's like everybody gotta keep it going though, you know what I'm saying? So people be like, oh no, I gotta start running again. I think that vibe, like, it just encourages people.
Is it competitive, you think?
Nah, I think it is in a way though. Like, people don't want to see themselves slipping the leaderboards, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, everybody passing me. But I think that's a good thing though, because if nobody not passing you, you probably just walk the whole way.
You ain't worried. Yeah, it's not a 3K walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not
run. So.
Or jog likely. I mean, that's cool. I feel like we used to have like little group runs in the army, and that junk used to blow me. Like, you gotta stay in line. But I feel like with this is more so, we all just thought at one point and we all run our pace type vibe.
Facts.
Do you win something? Like, do somebody win something? Or is it like...
we all got medals.
Yeah, everybody got medals?
It's a participation. I think that was like, nobody...
You completed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Like,
Right.
if you did it, like, you got the award.
Well, that's good.
Sweet.
That's good. That's good. I mean, what I'm saying, no special jump for the first person.
Nah, everybody the same.
That's all good, bro. I mean, was it for a cause, you know?
Yeah, it's my man. Shout out my man Aaron Hackett. He got For the Love of Tomorrow. That's his nonprofit. He basically was raising money to help some high school students that's going to college, like, actually pay their tuition.
Oh, that's alright then. See, everybody deserves a jump for that then, yeah.
And I think the students might have ran too. I think they might have ran. Yeah, they ran.
I honestly think they should have. I honestly think they should have, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, son. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's cool though, cause you running with the person that you know what I'm saying? Like they looking at it like, all right, that's a bad. All these people out here for, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I looked at it. But at first, it could have come off like, bro, when you gonna run for this money.
That is facts though.
You know what I'm saying? But it's cool though. It's cool if you out there, everybody fellowshipping, they networking too. They could run into somebody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But let's get this done on the way. So the first question I got for you is, what was the first thing you wanted to be when you grew up?
First thing I wanted to be when I grew up, I mean, I guess like everybody else from my community, like, sports is kind of like your first nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, how can I do something in sports? Then you start to see, you know, as you hit them puberty ages, like whether you qualify to pursue that or not, you know what I'm saying? Does your body even allow that? So, you know, as I started to see like other kids developing a little faster, I'm like, I probably won't be able to do too much in the sports world. So I ain't never, after that dream, you know, I gave that up, it was like, I don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I never had nothing after that. It was just like trying a little bit of everything.
Well, what sport did you want to do then? How about that? If you had the, I don't know, if you was built like LeBron James, because nobody is like, certain people just be gifted with that. So it's like, You know what I'm saying? So, but would it be basketball? What you was looking at? What you was feeling?
I was playing basketball, but it was like I could play all the sports, but I wasn't super nice at none of them. To where like we all lined up. There's two captains, and I'm getting picked first. First pick. I was never that in no sport, but I was getting picked off Bucks though. Like I'm like a third round pick.
But it could be politics with that though, bro. It could have been politics with that, bro. Like I've been in situations I knew I wasn't getting picked first, and then there's been situations of like, hey, you looking around, you probably feel like you might be better, but it's politics. They know the sign and this and like, bro, you know how that goes. So it all depends on that too.
It get like that, but that play into how I was viewing it too. Though it was like, all right, if this is about being gifted and liked. I'm not really one of them natural. If I don't have that, I'm not even gonna force the part about being liked, cause I still got. If I get in a game, I sell it good enough, and I get in the game, I still gotta perform. So I just took the pressure off myself and was like, bro, around high school time, like I just kind of quit sports. Like then I got asthma too, so it was like, bro, this is probably not for me.
Yeah, I mean. I think competitive competition, yeah, you definitely need your lungs and a lot of on that tip where it's like you push. Is it a way to really counteract that? I don't really hear too much about like players having inhale at the game, but is that possible though? Like you think it is? We should actually find out if it's some athletes with asthma.
It's probably a lot. It's really like I feel like it's a training thing that you could grow out of. Like if you train your body.
I don't know. I don't even know how that experience is. I know I just see people grab the inhaler when, you know what I'm saying, time to. But what is that about then? What is that about?
The inhaler.
Yeah,
like what do it do?
Or like why would you? Yeah, like why is that joke like a lifesaver?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. And I guess the best way to answer is like, in what situation do you go get that? How you know you
like you was outside at the park playing with your friends, and we going crazy at the basketball court, and then you just like. Like, do you need it then? Is it like some shit? I mean, is it something that's attacking you, or is it like?
It's more so like for me, and it could be different for different people, but I started like get a little like lightheaded and like nauseous to where I can't even. I feel my body as it's moving is making me more and more lightheaded, and like I need. You don't know that it's the inhaler you need. You just know like you need to stop moving and regain.
You getting like when snap! So it's like you ever got the wind knocked out of you before?
I know the feeling. Yeah, it don't feel like that because you could breathe. Sometimes it is hard to breathe, but it's more so like most people. I think they feel it when they be smoking hookah or like a bad hookah or something like you might get the chills, you might just gotta sit there and stop, you might gotta drink some water. Like it's just messing with your lungs. I think that's what I was feeling like. It was from agility though, like just moving back and forth different directions, changing directions, like that's what triggered a lot of that.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, that's that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of, maybe like, you could have probably did like, you think like table tennis, like it's some archery, you know what I'm saying? It's still some competitive jumps that you could do that don't require but you know, coming from our community, that's another thing. Yeah. All our jumps require high perform, like everything, every single sport that I ever played was required for me to basically risk my body in a way. Facts. Like even basketball, you risking your body doing all that. Like it's some sports out here that you don't even gotta risk your body, bro. And we just don't got it at all in our avenue. Like I don't even think it is a top black archer. Or you could have been like an F1 driver. You know what I'm saying? Like or something like that. So it just all depends on, I guess, your upbringing. Everybody like what we liked around here though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of exposure thing, like as a kid, with what you seen your friends doing, what your parents kind of put you in, and also just like what you're able to see, whether it's social media or whatever. Like if I saw like other kids doing, I don't know, fencing or like, I might be like, okay, let me see what that's about. But growing up, I mean, it was all about like, from games to me, I was influenced by video games. So once I played Madden and NBA Live,
sports games, yeah,
and it's like, okay, he good, Jamal Crawford good, I want to go shoot like Jamal Crawford. Now I'm signed up for Boys and Girls Club to act like Jamal. I'm not really there because I love it, you know what I'm saying? I'm there because I seen these characters kind of play their role, and like I'm infatuated by it, and I want to recreate it. I'm just copying their moves, and like that's what sports was for me. But once asthma hit, it was like, it probably was a good thing though, because I had just been like playing the sports
just to have fun. I mean, in a way, sports do that. I mean, you can still play it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you don't have to be like, nothing stops you. That's the thing about sports. Yeah, everybody got the sports dream and want to compete at the highest level, but like, even when I'm not trying to compete at the highest level with any other sports I did, I still like going hang out with the guys and throw the football like that. Any type of sports is always going to be just something, a strong thing in my life at least. And I feel like it's regardless of if you like, even people be having disabilities and still love sports. So everybody kind of had that dream. Like even the Make-A-Wish kids, they be having a dream to actually play like Vic, but it's like that's their situation. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they get to play it in their dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, bro. Like real life. I don't know. There's something gotta give. I mean, you know, Google could probably create something for them like that, huh? Like something like virtual reality where they can use their brain.
That's true. I wouldn't even put no limit on, you know, where that technology could go for real.
Do you feel like that would give you the same feel? Do you think, like, I mean, because when I play UFC now, I do feel like I lose. Or like when I play Madden, like, unless it's some glitching, stupid stuff going on, I do feel like I'm putting in that work and I could lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do get that feeling, but like the physical aspect, no, but do you really even think it's necessary to have a physical aspect on that tip? I mean, mine is the exercise part.
I do feel like that's a critical part of the experience, right? Like, it's like, imagine playing football without never feeling nothing. It's like, is it really the same? Cause
I wouldn't even know. Yeah, that's a good, cause I played football when I was 5, so or like to that, you know what I'm saying? So it would have to be from somebody that couldn't do that and be like, well, I guess it is it would have to be catered to them. I guess maybe somebody that played football, they play it, but football players like playing Madden, so I guess it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I think they able to separate like
what's real and what's fake.
Right.
Yeah,
because if you Lamar Jackson and you scrambling, you got you want to make the play, but you also know you gotta be present and healthy for the next series.
You gotta protect your body.
Right. So the decision you might make on Madden, you might get hit stick like it don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like playing Call of Duty, it don't mean nothing. You're gonna respawn, like you know that.
So do you think that it should be like it should get to the point we got like vibrating suits or something? You know,
if you want to really make the decision making somewhat consistent, you got to, because people gotta feel that. Like that's the whole point of, I think, a lot of linebackers and stuff. How they hit, it was like they hitting you so that you don't try it again. You know
they trying to strike you. They trying to put you down. Yeah.
So it's to prove a point and that influence the next play and the next play. So if you take that element out, it's like it's a different sport.
Well, all right, I say this then. When you get hit stick on Madden, you feel it in the controller. You feel it like they got into that science now where you feel it in the controller. So I think that would, like, eventually it could get to that point if they really wanted it that bad. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted to feel it that bad, then I think it could be like a simulation. I'm pretty sure it's one now like that already, or something.
Kind of gotta have that in there, bro. Like, otherwise, you don't fully understand what just happened. Just like if you playing a fight night, you get rocked. Like, you don't know what that really felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just steady throwing stuff back. Like, I don't know. I feel like you gotta feel it to really know, like, I ain't like that, and then learn how to, like, prevent it. But if you just feeling the vibrations, like, you start to ignore that. You feel me? But I don't feel like you ignore, like, when you limping, or like that's a real life.
Yeah,
like,
that's the whole different part. You really got really got injured. Like,
exactly.
that is the risk of the body. So do you? Well, I don't want to keep staying on the topic, but this will be the last question on the topic. Do you feel like, because you can still get hurt in your daily life, anybody can get hurt, so I guess it's not about ducking the injury, but do you feel like you got injured less taking the route that you took?
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually something I be thinking about a lot. Like, I probably preserve time in my life by just like focusing more on like how to use my brain as opposed to my body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for it. Even if a career in sports would have made me more money, like, I see how it affect certain people, and I don't think that they like ashamed of it. I think they take pride in the fact that they open the doors for like their families and stuff like that. And that's beautiful, but like, I just don't think that was my route. I don't like being hurt. You feel me? Now I don't like no soft stuff or nothing, but like, if I could choose this path, I'm gonna just use more of my brain. You know what I'm saying? Really just be precise with what I'm doing, and that could kind of take me to the same places, like sacrificing my body. Because without your body, it's like you're not really.
Once your body shut down, bro, it started to get a little weird anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now you really gotta be dependent. Like, you was with your body at first, you was super independent, super healthy, and then you see it like they like 50, 60 cane, needed somebody to walk them to the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be a whole bunch of situations. Like, even when I talk to my mother and father about still trying to box, they be like, man, we don't want you to get no head injury. Like, they just realize, say that. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of sit there and think about that too. Like, dang, bro, it's any chance. And like, anytime, even when I went to All Army, I had dislocated my thumb again. Any chance I could just be messing up a body part just off of the strength. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I guess sports got its pros and cons, but I agree. Growing up, I wanted to play sports too, for sure. But I mean, I wanted to be president though.
That's my dream now.
Be president, that's actually a good dream. I think you can do it. I think you can do it too, bro. I really think you can do it.
In a way, that's my dream now, bro.
But do you want to be president of the United States or president of, like, something else? You like the entire United States? Do you feel like we should split it up to another way? How would you politic that then? What would your first thing then, being president? What would be your first order? Your first order.
So
it would be your first order, bro.
My first order would be like, I'm gonna be for the people. So I'm gonna try to consider, all right, what is the pain point of the people? Like, what do they want out of
what do they want out of a leader at that time?
Also, I want to put my country like in a better place for it to last longer. For example, right now, I feel like the pace that the country is heading in is not sustainable. Like, we got this idea that we're gonna be the bully for forever. Like, we could America the muscle from when it started to whenever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people don't realize empires crumble, and all it takes is for God to choose it, and it's gone. So I feel like I would try to get the United States like and it's not my campaign, by the way, but like, it started to feel like it. I would try to get us in a place, you know what I'm saying, where we could, like, I don't know, just have better relations with external, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we chase agendas too much. Like, America got an agenda, and we seeing it kind of play out, and it has pros and a lot of cons, and unfortunately, the cons is people dying.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, my look on that is we gonna come back. We gonna come back to that. Snell for president, bro. Snell for president, because my look is disturbing. The next question I got: do you think PG County schools help us get to the level you at, or is it a personal discipline?
That's a good question. I think PG do help you get to where you're at. Honestly, like, I want my kids to be from this area or like somewhere remotely close to where they could, because I feel like it's like a sink or swim type of environment, but not extreme though. And I think that's kind of what the youth needs. Like, you need to be able to choose good over evil. Like, you need to see it in front of you and make a conscious decision, and also see what could happen to you if you choose the other route. And I think PG schools do it. I don't think it's by design. I don't think they want it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think they want that. Like, they putting it in front of you, but I think the environment that, you know, is come to be today, it's like you could come out of that and be extremely successful, or you could come out of that and
you know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean,
choose your fate.
So do you think when you show up to PG high school, a PG high school, you are guaranteed success like if you showed up to a PG private school?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. I think, like, for example, I was talking to some parents. This is a couple months ago. I was talking to some parents, and the parents had twins, and the twins went to, I want to say, Bishop McNamara, and the parents were trying to figure out why they should be sold on sending their kids to Hampton, because the kids about to graduate high school.
Right. So
they hand me the two daughters' resumes, but I'm looking at their resume as coming out of high school. Bro, they got over 4.0 GPAs. They in all these clubs. Like, they have the accolades of an accomplished college student or accomplished grown person. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's like, that's rooted in PG though. You know, and I'm talking to the parents. I just blindly say, yeah, I'm from PG County. And they was like, oh, we are too. And then they showed me all the stuff. And I'm like, dang, like, you could really, and I'm sure a lot of us saying the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? The kid who wanted to get thrown out of private school and all, like, you really get to kind of choose your end of the spectrum, and I think a lot of it is just based on your friends, based on exposure. A lot of it's personal too, though. Like, personally just wanting better. And
do you feel, all right, then in that case, then do you think this area is good at helping you become what you want? Do you think that's what it is?
Like, from a support standpoint?
Not support, but internal. Like, if you choose whatever career you choose, when you choose that, like you said, is a sink or swim. Like, this area is going to catapult you to either A, you're going to be that person in it, or B, you're going to be whatever you trying to be, you're going to be that person in it. Even if you want to be in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, you going to want to be that person in it. Do you think that's what this area does? Is like a competitive vibe where it's like we pushing each other to be better in a way where it's support. You know how support is. Like, it's not heavily support, but that type of mentality where you like, no, I got to really, because if I don't do it, ain't going to be nothing of nobody supporting it. Do you get what I'm saying? Not
kinda,
really.
Sorta.
Like, that tough skin vibe. Like, this area gives you a type of grit that you wouldn't get if you were in like a countryside or somewhere where it's easy going. You know what I'm saying? Where you like, nah, I want to be the best at it. I'm from here, where people kind of look at it like that. Like, even if people getting good grades around here, they want to be the best at getting good grades. So the best basketball player.
I get it. Yeah. So I feel like the DMV or PG County, like most people probably walk around with a chip on their shoulder for some reason. I think that's a positive thing because that's like an intrinsic motivator. You know, like people can't see it on me, but you're gonna feel it because it's in me. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's driving me. I think I had that in my own way. I'm pretty sure you have that in your own way. Like something happened in your life or you had a certain thought and it's like, bro, this is what's gonna drive me for the next few years because and I think it's probably under that rooted in just the environment, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I could achieve more.
I think it's when you actually go somewhere else, you notice that not everybody else has that chip on their shoulder, and you like, why is that? Or like it's a certain. I think maybe New York might have that same vibe though. Well, like a New York person, but they don't want to leave New York either. You get what I'm saying? Like they just like, cause they go somewhere else, like, man, I gotta get back to New York. Like it's like, you know. So I guess maybe that is what it could be. It's a chip on their shoulder. We'll just call it that. We got chips on our shoulders.
Facts.
There's no problem though. So, I guess talking about Hampton, how was your Hampton experience?
One of my favorite questions. Hampton was probably the best thing that happened to me, honestly. Like it's not far, but it's far enough. It's not boring, but it's boring enough. Like it's like in a perfect place around the perfect kind of people to again sink or swim. But more swimming is going on over there, to where you the odd one out if you're not trying to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Like people partying, people doing what they do, but it's a standard of excellence. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we be saying. And it's true though, it's like there's a dress code, there's curfew, there's all these measures in place to try to get you to be responsible and disciplined. You know, a lot of places is just like go up Bowie State, most of what you see is probably not even students, bro. It's probably you know what I'm saying? People just up that jump.
It's just cool and booty state.
Yeah, exactly. Hampton
like why you called that?
Hampton
like why you called that, bro?
Hampton ain't have that, bro. It was more strict. It was like you here now, make something of yourself, you know. And I think being thrown into that, just to rewind a little bit, like getting into Hampton, I didn't get in. I had to do summer school to get in.
Right.
That was a chip for me on my shoulder. Like they ain't not admitting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I know I'm smart. I know my high school grades wasn't that, but it was just like, dang. And I'm talking to all the other students on campus in the summer, and they voluntarily on campus just there because their parents just sent them there like to have fun before the real fun.
School, so they just sitting there eating chips.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just making friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they just making memories before college start, and I'm there waking.
Getting the grinding and stuff.
I'm on a whole different. So I came in with a lot of like aggression, not like physical aggression, but I was just ready to start my coursework and really like finally start achieving stuff. Because remember, like sports bar, I wasn't the highest achiever. So I'm like, at what point as a man am I going to start achieving?
Like have some accolades of yourself. I mean, you
need that.
You know, I mean, if this is my thing, I feel like school, like when we was in high school, school should also reward the class clowns. Like the class clowns should get an award and they should get pushed into like acting or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids that got a lot of personality in class, cause you know, like even us in art class, remember it's pool, and we just being like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta cater to them type of crowd. Like they always be getting mad at like the bad kids, but it's for the class clowns. And I didn't have good grades, and I was always doing bad stuff. But I'm a personality person. You can't hold everybody back. Like yeah, you could be like send them to the School of Arts, but it's like, do we really have that in PG County? You know what I'm saying? Like that's some New York stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? We got this. Everybody got a chance to be like something. You can be something if you pay attention, but you gotta really, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they should have done stuff like that too. But as I digress, when you was getting into Hampton, you had to do summer school. Do you feel like, and everybody else basically just having a blast on campus, do you feel like that pushed you into the situation that you're in now? Because do you see people, how many people do you think is doing what you do from Hampton? Not to say like Hampton ain't doing nothing, but how many people do you think is doing what you do?
In their respective fields, or like in
Yeah, for sure. Even if they in their respective fields, I mean, of course. Yeah. Oh well, let's do your field. Let's bump that. Let's do your field. Is anybody on your level from your graduating class?
I love my homies.
Hey,
I love my homies.
Hey, homies, this ain't no diss, bro. He was doing summer school where y'all was eating hot dogs and what, chips and coloring books and stuff. You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't gonna lie. I had a team, so I didn't get here.
Dolo.
Yeah,
for sure.
I had a strong team, small team, but we all like leveraged each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what you see is like parts of them that got poured into me.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it's like my success is dependent on them being there. You know what I'm saying? Like had they not been there and supporting me, I can't say I'm the same man. So through that lens, I'd say.
Well, all right, that's a humbling take. I don't want like
I know what you're trying to say though.
But okay, if at the root of the situation, I feel like you going there having to do that probably propelled you to be maybe just a little bit ahead of the game when it came to college, because it's like you already did working. They could have. Like, all right, I give you an example. My mother, she said when she first started, she went to Norfolk State. You know about Norfolk State? That's basically Hampton at night. You get what I'm saying? So, or like whatever, like this the switch. So she had that felon tree. You know what I'm saying? Like she sitting under the felon tree, cooling with the wrong crowd. Like, do you feel like Hampton had less of the wrong crowd, or you was around the right crowd? Your team.
Hampton had a lot of distractions, bro. First of all, Hampton is majority women, and I think a lot of them come from private schools and like little pocket areas around the country, to where when they come to college, it's like it's not buck wild, but
it's free fall.
It's
lit.
Yeah. And
it's
so
lit.
It's like. That could be a distraction for some. You also got just the fact that you don't have parental supervision no more. You also got the fact that you got parties and you got all these stimulants. It's like you got everything at your disposal. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how do I condition myself to make the right choices and feel good about it? You know, so I mean, everything was there. People definitely indulged in what they wanted. At their discretion. I feel like I just got a chance to see it pretty early, like what I just associated action with result and was like, all right, if this is what leads to that, I'm gonna cut it off at the head. Like if standing up and going to them parties means I'm not gonna see them in class tomorrow, I'm not gonna be like them, because if I don't show up to class, that could be the difference between me being able to take this picture in some years and me not being able to. It's like I'm looking at it ahead, like, all right, because my goal was, bro, leave it all on the field. You know what I'm saying? How they be saying, like, when you do it with everything you got. So when you look back on it, it's not what if I did this better, or what, like, nah, I did everything max capacity. So whatever you see is what I was just physically capable of getting out of that time, and that's how I feel about it. So I mean, every decision in college is like not the greatest one, but like you learn. I think that's the biggest part. It's not like how you started, because it's 4 years at least. So it's like, all right, you know, once you start making choices and seeing how it impact your life, it's for you, you know, as a young adult in that time to just like allow things to develop into habits and negatively affect you, or cut it off and, you know, understand why it's not serving you. And I think that's what I was pretty much going through for 4 years, just like making myself into a better version to set myself up to live how I want to live when I'm 21, 22, and all that.
So when I'm listening to you talk, bro, it sounds like, for me, a lot writes stuff the way he writes stuff because he want us to be the type of person that can handle the challenges that we go through, right? Sports, yeah, like you said, sports might not have been for you, but you had that competitive spirit, right? You knew how to work on a team. I mean, maybe sports is for you now. Maybe you over the asthma. Maybe that was just some little high school stuff, bro. That's all I'm saying. I heard him say he ran a 3.5K marathon or something earlier. You know? I think he beat the asthma, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think he beat the asthma allegation. Maybe, bro. You know what I'm saying? But even me, like, I'm just getting back into boxing now. So, like, you never know, bro. You could take your time to sit in Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? He got bread randomly, and now he's starting, like, it's never too late. And I'm a testament to that. It's never too late. But what I would say is that Allah has a funny way of writing stuff. Like you said, you right here. This look like Coach Snell right here talking about tech, you know what I'm saying? Or understanding an athlete usually put in that grind when people is at the parties and stuff. Like, and then you see it on the ones that go to the parties and the ones that don't. Like, I always look at Kobe about it when it comes to this stuff. Like, he was who he was, not because of what he had, but because of what he did. Like, he really, every single day, committed himself fully to the task, bro, that he set out to do, and he accomplished it, and he got to where he wanted to be. And when you had that mindset, you could apply that to anything. Right. But sports kind of engraved that in you, whether you was great at it or not. You going to know that, like, I got to put in some effort to get it done, versus somebody that might have just been blessed with talent, but he was a computer nerd who he just sat on a computer all day. When y'all get into the same Google situation and it's time for you to perform versus him to perform, y'all got the same skill, who gonna win?
Right.
The person that already was competing, that was thinking about it. Like, I just had this talk when I was doing jiu-jitsu with somebody, bro, and it was like, he was telling me, hey, I don't get the point of competing for sports. You get what I'm saying? It was like, why are you saying that? But when he explained it to me and he was just explaining it to me, like, I get his perspective now. Like, he just wants to have the skill. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have that competitive nature, you're not going to reach a further level, I think.
That's true. I think I agree with both of y'all. Like, I think at one point I was competitive with my field, but that was just to ramp up, like, just to go from 0 to something. It was like, I gotta grind it, because I'm not trying to learn one new thing every week. I'm trying to learn the thing every minute.
Right.
Until I started feeling like
overwhelmed.
I don't know if I would monitor how I felt about stuff. Like, I knew I was learning more than what the class was teaching. So, but I didn't consider it extra. I considered it necessary knowledge to be right here. Like, a lot of people think, all right, if it's not in the curriculum, then it's just extra. And it's like, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be the book. You don't want to just be what somebody spoon fed you. You want to be versatile and equipped. You know what I'm saying? So I think I had to be competitive in the beginning just to kind of get up there in that stratosphere. And then from there, it was like, all right, how serious do I want to take it? Do I want to get to Google and try to get promoted like 2 times in 4 years? Like, is that my goal, or is it just to like showcase my skills and just kind of coast now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I went through 4 years of trying to build a reputation, build a brand, having to advocate for myself and explain why I'm the most deserving of this or that. And I don't feel like now, I feel like people are advocates for me now. You know what I'm saying? To where people explain to other people that I'm skilled. It's not about me trying to prove it, or I'm confident in my skills to the point it kind of speaks for itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
it should speak for itself at this point, especially like I said, bro. Like a lot of really right stuff. Specifically, you going to summer school, put that drive in you to be like, I mean, I don't feel like doing this, but if I really want this, I'm gonna have to do this. You know what I'm saying? You could have just skipped out on summer school, came back to the block, bro.
Facts.
Simple. Like it's just that simple. You could have not did it. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you did it. So when you put yourself through that stuff, and then you keep getting guided, you keep getting to this and this and this and this, you gonna end up on a different level.
That's how it happened. That's exactly how it happened. It's like I ain't never put no plan together. It was just do the most that you can do and just kind of like take a couple seconds every now and then to reflect and see, like looking in the mirror at your abs. It's like I ain't gonna do this all day every day, just be looking at myself, but I'm gonna keep tabs on like last week I look like this, just so you know where to fine tune to get you to that place that just feel right. That's all it was for me. Like what career feels right. It's not I want this because the money. It's not I want this because of no reason. It was just what's gonna make me happy to bring myself to work every day to the point where I don't consider this work. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, is this stuff like that's an opportunity to be there to speak. It's an opportunity to write code and build applications that millions of people touch. Like it's not a job to me. A job is like something get assigned, you gotta do it.
Right.
I pick what I want to work on, and like I feel like it's a great opportunity. So I just wanted to eventually feel that way. Like all the work I put in is to get me somewhere where I feel appreciated and I feel like I'm using some important skill that's highly valued, so where I can get paid and like I genuinely love what I'm doing. I didn't know that those were the key things that mattered, and like flexibility. I didn't know these were the things that matter, but as I started to get closer to, an opportunity like that, I started to question myself, like, what do I care about? You know what I'm saying? Is it, because I could have been a quant and probably made 500,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, bro, y'all need to get a hip to a quant. Your boy right here, I think I invested in some quantum computing. Like I know a couple companies that do that, but I know that's after AI. They saying that's after AI. But what is that? I mean, do you feel like elaborating on that, or do you want to answer a more silly question? That's how it's serious. Quantum computing.
I'll just speak on what I know.
Quant.
Honestly, quant to me is like a loaded term that people just kind of fire off, and it don't always be. I think I'd be probably misusing it too, bro.
It sounded. I heard quantum computing and 500K, and anybody that ain't thinking like that they probably would want to even attempt. You know what I'm saying? People like I said. Do you think PG County is telling us about quantum computing?
I think this is actually drive me to a point. Like, of course, I mean, answer is no. I don't think PG is like is pushing that, but I think that could be for a few reasons. But like the whole thing about quant even being a loaded term to me is just like, if I were to pursue it, I would have been pursuing it because it was a hot term and because I heard a big ticket associated with it as a career. It wouldn't have been being in this space and learning about this industry is what makes my heart happy.
It wasn't your passion.
Right.
So that would have been a waste of time.
Right. So that was an easy way to like, and I think that's why reflection means so much, because it's not always the logic, because if I'm following a logic might say be a quant, because it's going to make, a bunch of bread, but it's like sustainability is the complement to that. Like, all right, if I can make a lot of money, but if my brain can only take on that for a year, then I have a ceiling, you know what I'm saying, versus what I do, I feel like I could do it for the rest of my life. and I still feel like I'm compensated well. So it's like I feel like I won versus somebody that's a quant. They might that's for them. But I don't know. Long story short, I don't know exactly what they do, bro. But I just know people go between industries like computer science and engineering and being a quant. I think it's something to do with finance.
Quantum physics. You heard of that word? Quantum physics?
I heard it all, bro. But they loaded terms to me, it's like it's a normal word like physics or computing, and then they put that before it, and it changed the dynamic of what.
All I'm gonna say is when I hear quantum, I think Illuminati. So
right, you just think something black box
conspiracy.
Yeah, that's
quantum,
the whole thing. But
yeah.
somehow it generate all this money. And it's
something that's going, bro. I'm telling you, they keep dropping these companies. We might got to look into some quantum, bro, because they said it's after AI, and AI is. I mean, people look at AI. I think I have a question about AI because people look at AI like it's insane,
like the final form of technology. Like it's not gonna keep going,
or like it's just insane. Like the question I got is, when do you think AI will start replacing human jobs, and is that a problem? Because that's how insane it is, to the point that.
Personally,
what you think?
I don't see it happening.
I mean, you know more than me. That's why I look at it from that angle.
I mean, granted, is becoming more of a tool for us, like especially as an engineer. We companies are supporting the idea of using AI in the job, and I use it a lot. I use Gemini heavily. I think it's a pretty good teacher, but I think ultimately like AI relies on people with knowledge, specialized knowledge, to train these models and to like
update them. Well, I mean, they gotta get up. They can't get but that's what I'm also trying to figure out. Do you think it's possible that it can update itself in the future?
I don't see a world where AI is just this sustainable thing that's independent of its creators. You know what I'm saying? I feel like us as the micro creators that create these things and these tools, I think.
What if it's a rogue creator then? How about that? Is that a possibility, or is it like everything that is consumed with AI? Is it like heavily monitored to the point where nobody could go rogue? Because everybody watch movies. We all watch movies. We all be scared. Like even Tom Cruise just came out with he just came out with his last Mission Impossible. That joint was called The Entity. The Entity making a whole bunch of moves and stuff like that. And they need to get like a 5D converter to trap it and all this extra stuff. And it's like, I mean, they put stuff out there. And like the community, the crowd, some people like ChatGPT, some people don't like it. Some people be like, I don't want this to be controlling my life or to be saying this and that. And I mean, of course, that's not going to replace humans, because there's people always out here that feel like that. But do you think that we are always going to be in charge of AI? How about that?
Like we have the leverage as the supervisors, and not they develop their own,
or like hop into a robot body and now
right.
now I'm making moves because right. I'm an AI in a robot body.
Right.
Like you can't. I don't know. I know right now for sure my ChatGPT is in check. Like he's
right.
not about to hop off the phone and start calling people.
Right.
So I know that if people have the control over it, just right. Is that possible? How about that?
I think if you like go back to the thought of AI is a tool and a product, right? Mm-hmm. And it's for people. Mm-hmm. So I think if we keep that like contract together, like it's for people, we have to ask like, all right, is it serving us or is it not? So if ChatGPT was to start doing stuff like that, at that point it's no longer serving us. It's time to
update this junk or
get rid of it. It's like if we not, and that's simple though. Like that's just that took me 5 seconds to make that decision. Like you know what I'm saying, as long as we making the simple stuff and not overcomplicating it.
But that's a high IQ move, because people don't even get off the internet if they get cyberbullied.
Right.
Like they right. You know what I'm saying?
Self-inflicted wounds that people. That's why I take people who just like don't get trapped in all the the fancy linguistics and like just get a kid, bro. A kid can say the robot chopped off arm, get rid of robot. You know what I mean? You need people who just keep it very simple.
Yeah, very
and
simple.
That's how you keep the world in check, because you got all these people with these brilliant minds and like they just overcomplicating stuff sometimes to the point where they create issues.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue, like the product that was developed to initially solve this problem, has opened up a bunch of problems for the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have been trying to fix one person's problem, now you messed up a lot of, like, you guys gotta keep it simple sometimes and just weigh it like, all right, this is flashy and it's lucrative, it'll make money, but what problem is it solving? And if it's the audience is people, which all of our products are, is it serving the customer?
Right. That's okay. All right. That's cool. So basically, Gemini is controlled by the people. Not saying it like that, cause see, some people might talk to their AI and start catch feelings for them. You know what I'm saying?
Help.
You start catching feelings.
Seek help.
Seek help, right? But I mean, that Evo joke is crazy, bro. That Evo 3 is crazy. We was just watching the video on it and like it's realistic. So it's like, okay, where would you take this? Where would you take AI? What would the next steps for that be?
Facts. So I see this from a consumer standpoint. I see this from I'm not much of an entrepreneur, but if I had to put that hat on, like if I had to figure out where to go next with it, it's just like figure out how to save people time. And I think that's what AI is intended to do. Like instead of you Google searching through 10 pages on Google search, just
pull it up for you, right?
You know where to fetch. As long as like, so it's going to give you the same result, maybe even a better result than you would have had, and it's doing it
instantly in a way.
I think if we could just keep that as the driving force, like let's solve problems faster. Not solve problems that are not there though. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Burger King and having like a cashier and a person coming up to. I don't notice that like any service is necessarily faster with all kiosks and no cashiers. You know what I'm saying? It's still people that be standing there watching you get on the kiosk. So it's like are you really saving money? You still paying them to supervise the kiosk, because the kiosks go down. You need the HR, you need these human resources, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't never get rid of the people, because one, we developed the technology, so once they poop and they stop working and like you need people to come on site and fix it.
Right. So this is more so AI is more so to help.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. It's just a tool.
That's literally
cool.
As long as you describe it as a tool and not
that save you time.
Once you start thinking of what else it is, that's where you mess up.
That is where you mess up, and that's where people start to get like these radical ideas.
Right. Exactly. It's just a tool. Right?
So since it's just a tool, let's ask. Let's ask this question. Is it a competition between all the tech companies? Like, if you see a metal worker or an Apple worker, is it beef? is it like time to get a crackhead? Like, I got a Google phone. I prefer that. I mean, I know everybody got an iPhone. That's the standard in a way for some reason. But besides that, do you feel like if y'all was like had been like say like it's like a group, big tech party, and like we like it's metal over there, oh nah, like it's like you know, is it like that?
Nah.
Oh, all right. It's not. So everybody just chill and happy to see each other.
Pretty much, because like we all in the same industry and face the same problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, and being at odds as employees would kind of be goofy. For one, like we don't own nothing. Like we're not going to inherit no beef or nothing, because we could all just get laid off. And now, you know what I'm saying? We was repping some. And they ain't care enough about us to keep us. You understand? We on the front lines, and So from that lens, it's like it ain't that serious for us to really care, and I think we all want the same thing in the end. You know what I'm saying? We want our career. We enjoy programming or coding and engineering and stuff, and we enjoy getting compensated for it, and we enjoy making stuff for the world. So I think as long as like it's hard to have those feelings, and at the same time look at somebody who's chasing the same thing and feel like you don't want to engage with them, or you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So well, all right, let me look at it from this angle then. Google dropped the Google glasses, but then Meta link up with Ray-Ban and drop they Meta glasses, and y'all like, so y'all like, is it like that? Is it like, so y'all gonna drop some glasses?
If you
now?
substitute these companies with like rappers, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? It make it like, all right, okay. That's
right. That's why I'm trying to figure out, like, is it like is it could it be like, all right, like say for instance, okay, what department do you actually work in?
I work in Google Home, and that's like speakers, lights, but we work third party a lot because we want to support Samsung devices and Amazon devices, so it don't serve us to have bad relations with anybody.
But if y'all drop the Google Pod, what's the Google Home speaker? What is it?
Just the speaker, the Nest Mini.
Well, I guess the one that will be able to respond to voice in the house.
Yeah, the Nest Mini.
Okay, the Nest. Right, yeah. Okay, so you got the Nest, and then you got the Home Pod. And you designed the Nest, and then the Home Pod come out, and it got like something similar as yours. Are you feeling some type of way? Or are you not feeling, is it like, it's all for the greater good, you know?
Right. In a sense, it is like, all right, they wasn't really supposed to go against the grain for the sake of going against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is the design that work, for example, I think Google complies to a lot of Apple's designs, and I think they smart doing that. They know that it works. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's. I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When you have success in the area, it makes sense for people to naturally follow that blueprint. Make it original, of course, but like, and that opened up the whole conversation of like patents and stuff. And
well, you know something? I think I have how can I explain this? I'm looking at it from like the NFL, right? The NFL got all these teams, and you know the Cowboys don't like the Redskins, or so they say. Maybe it's just a fans thing, or maybe that's what it is. The fans of the Google like have a Google phone, like, oh, I got a Google, you got an iPhone, like that's kind of who starts the stuff. But that you kind of need the people to do that regardless, so you can have loyalty, right? But my question is, when cause y'all the NFL, it seemed like they all but it's certain teams that's good. But when y'all working together, like you need, like when I download Google on my iPhone or the app, it looks nice. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all have to kind of still
right.
coincide. Like Meta has to be, Facebook has to be on the iPhone.
Right.
Or if that makes, is it Apple that's doing it, or like?
Nah, it's I get what you mean.
Can you get Google Apple TV? Like,
so for example, my team, we run Google Home app.
right.
And this app exists on Android and iOS. So you could download it. And that's not necessarily a partnership between us and Apple to where like we can't hate them and still have our app exist on their platform. I mean, ultimately, Apple benefit in a way, and we benefit. So it's like we just accept our own benefits and just.
It's a lot of teamwork with tech. I feel like it versus like big, like Shell versus Exxon. You know what I'm saying? Like they like looking at it like. They're stepping on my toes.
It's a little different because like they selling the exact same product. No variance is fuel. You know what I'm saying? It's not about flavor to where it's like I have a
personalized.
Right. You don't even never see this product. It goes straight from pump to in whip. So like you don't never have a chance to even judge it and say I prefer this over this. It's like now what your car think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your car react versus I think, you know, the phones and gadgets and stuff, it's like like we the car. So if we feel attracted to, you know,
y'all more so the car than the gas.
Right.
It's more of a personal vibe.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so technology. But I mean, Google definitely stumped Bing. Like, we don't even hear about them anymore. I don't think anybody has a search engine anymore.
Nah, we won that war, but the war has like evolved into you know, like Gemini and ChatGPT. Like now people don't care to really use Google unless you're trying to browse, right? Like let's say you're searching Rick Owens pants. You're not gonna do that in ChatGPT because it's gonna spit out data. You wanna see links and like how
Images,
to you're trying to navigate. If you're still trying to navigate, I think Google still serves a purpose, but for just raw information or data turned into information, then ChatGPT and stuff is like.
Is Gemini an app?
Yeah, we got an app for it.
See, I wouldn't. They don't even. I don't even like. Gemini needs to be promoted a little heavier. Do you think it's promoted heavy? I don't. Okay, you are the person that named Gemini for me because I knew Grok.
Right.
Because I got X,
Right.
and I know ChatGPT because I guess that's the one right now. They the one when it comes to that. Because I guess it's so conversation like in a way. With Gemini, how can more people? What does because I like we watched the one where they create the videos. Why would Gemini stand out more now? Or what could you say that Gemini does that Chat doesn't do?
So, from how I understand it, like Gemini actually powers a lot of AI stuff under the Google umbrella. For example, if you open Gmail, Gemini will summarize the email and it'll give you a banner at the top like a summary of the email.
Now, yeah.
Like Gemini you didn't have to go to Gemini and copy and paste your email and say summarize. It's embedded within like another product that exists. And YouTube, we added stuff to YouTube. Like we finding ways to plug Gemini into all of your favorite.
ChatGPT has never been YouTube.
Exactly. Like we already have, and now in Google search there's a new tab called AI mode where it basically combines Google search and Gemini in a clever way. I don't really use it much. I don't think I've used it, but I've seen it. And it's like they basically embedding it into all the existing favorite products. And I don't know if ChatGPT like it doesn't have any extensions to like embed itself into. I think
It's pulling from stuff. It's pulling from sources, but it's basically going there and talk to Gemini real quick.
Yeah,
that's what it's doing.
Get stuff and tell you that, but that's such a like a niche situation where like you have time to actually ask a question. And you might have just logged into Gmail. You like, dang, bro, I don't got time to read all of this. And you be like, oh, I forgot at the top is the summary. That's like a pain point. You ain't necessarily asked.
There's more of a helpful. Like
exactly.
It's a natural help,
right? Versus
a search for help.
Exactly.
And that's still
exactly.
with ChatGPT, you have to activate it. ChatGPT, like if you don't ask Chat nothing, it's not going to tell you nothing. Exactly. With Gemini, is basically like your plumber, or like your water system. Like you just know it turn on and it turn off. Like you don't think nothing of it. It's more on that level.
Right.
So that's cool.
That's where we went. I believe we just making it more natural, a part of like everyday stuff.
Using situation, especially with y'all processing.
Right.
That's all right. I like that. So I mean, we're not gonna see them. It's going to start helping the humans. It's not going to replace us, y'all.
No,
it's going to help the humans.
We straight.
It's going to help it. So let's get into what's on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Do you wanna talk about your kids, or do you want to answer one more serious question?
Talk about the kiddos.
All right. So, what's your favorite thing about teaching the kids?
Man. All right, y'all. This the real segment. This is
the real segment. Yes, sir.
My favorite thing about the kids, bro, is my favorite thing about the kids, bruh, is just like, I'm not gonna say they innocent, cause by the age that I be teaching, y'all not innocent no more. But it's like, you really, oh yeah, you really like, you really get I take a very hands-on approach to where before I give advice to a student or try to coach a student or mentor, I learn who they are, what they care about, where they come from, so that I could give, because every student don't require the same thing, right? Like,
right.
So for me, it's about, I get to learn this young person who don't even understand how much potential they have, but it's my job as, it's just my job as an older person that's in the field to, reach back and help build them up, because they gonna have the same responsibility I have, to reach back and try to help the next generation. So favorite thing for me, bro, is just seeing how they react to realizing that they have somebody in their corner. Because a lot of these kids, like, they didn't grow up with one of their parents, and they need to be embraced and hugged and loved and all of that stuff. And I'll just be so happy I could be that person for them, because I think that's the foundation for being great. You know what I'm saying? Once you already feel loved, and like, look at Bronny James, like, he had other struggles, but like, his probably main goal is just like, I got everything taken care of for me, bro. Let me just have a goal and just try to achieve it. I don't got all the outside stuff to worry about, how I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna get this, like, everything's set. Granted, I can't provide a LeBron James experience for everybody, but I can provide some of the similar feelings that Bronny probably feel, which is love, support, having a confidant, like, just letting people know that they can achieve it, and that I'm there to try to support them. Like, just feeling that, and then seeing it on their face, and just hearing some of their testimonies, and even if they don't get internships and jobs and stuff, like, they know that was part of my story too, where I failed and I didn't get a certain position, so they have something to relate to.
Right.
And I didn't have nothing to relate to. So when I failed, I didn't know if that failure was epic or if it was something I could recover from. I just had to convince myself I'm gonna keep going, because it's go home or stay here or go home. So I just be trying to get them to think a certain way, so that when I'm gone out of their life and I'm, back in the real world or whatever, and the training wheels come off their bike, they could keep going.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you should take on the title of Coach Snell, for the tech guys, like, especially, like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you giving love and a teacher is one to show you what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Like, it's certain teachers that you like more because they start being like that, and then, like, you know what I'm saying? But if you, like, I usually look at it on that level, like, coach vibes, because the coach going to check in with you to make sure that you good, so that way the team perform well. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what the vibe gotta be anyway. That leadership vibe that you giving off. I mean, it don't sound right saying leader Snell. So, like, Coach Snell just hit back, like, man, this Coach Snell right here for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you all the time. Like, and like, I feel like a lot of people transitioning into that stage where they finding themselves at that age. You know what I'm saying? Getting lost in the sauce, don't know. Like, you just got out of high school, you ready to go. I ain't go to college, but I know if I went to college, I'm going for the buns. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just to have somebody in your corner that already went through that jump, and now we like, oh, like, he actually could tell me like, he coaching me up on how to really be a man in this situation, or high quality woman in this situation. That's like that, bro. And a lot of kids, I feel like they need to look this avenue, but they don't have the people to look to. Like, you hear about them, but it's like, do I see myself as them? And I feel like you are a person that's like, they could see themselves as, no disrespect, we was YNs, so it's like, well, we was YNs in a way, but now somebody that went to Flowers or Largo or something like that, they be like, they even if they happen to run into this video after No Savage is getting played, you know what I'm saying? if they happen to just bounce after that jump and they watch this video, man, they might have a change of heart because they like, oh, bro, could, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's like a lot of successful black people that's from the area that they could look to, but not in this avenue. As a matter of fact, it's probably only like one other person I think was like, her name like Simone or something like that, bro. I think she do some tech stuff. I don't know. I just know that I think she from this area. I think she is or something. Like I heard her name around here. But like most of the things around here is swag, you know what I'm saying? Culture or food. Like definitely food is heavily one of the things with like you start to notice somebody did something, but you have the blueprint that a lot of people kind of be sleep on. Like how many people from working with you right now are from this area?
Just one, but I don't even really seriously consider. When I think this area, I think PG, DC, like, but in a way where you can sense it on the person. Because, you know, some people, they around, but it's on some NPC vibes, like they not really here. They not, they don't carry it with them, you know, in their identity, you know what I'm saying? And so through that lens, zero. I've never met nobody from our area that like carry it with them. You can hear it how they talk. They could relate to like the same upbringing. From that perspective, nobody, bro.
And there you have it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So since there's nobody, like, and then it's like, that would mean you will be like the first person that would be able to relate to the people. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, nah, it's one, but I don't think he really embraced it. Shout out to my man Osei. He went to Howard. He younger than us, but I know when I was either about to graduate college or like it was a few years ago. He was interning at like Microsoft. He was doing this thing at Howard. Like he reminded me of myself. He liked the camera more than I like it, but he taking calculated steps in like the most important rooms that you can be in as a student, and he owning it. Like he like, I'm here, but I still got another goal. Like bro was working at Microsoft. Like yeah, it was cool, but I want more. Like I want more. He the only person in like the tech field that I think, you know, from this area that I felt the same like drive. Like bro, he don't have a ceiling on what he gonna become. Like he just gonna keep trying to elevate until he not here no more. And that's the same way I feel. So shout out Osei, man.
Shout out Osei, bro.
Yeah, good youngin.
Probably should link up with him. I think Osei and Snell, they probably should have like a little tech party or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be fair, like, we could say stuff like that and we understand that it's not gonna have the same turnout as Broccoli Fest. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's cool. But I feel like at the same token, something like y'all should link up and have something like that is, I don't even know what would that look like. You know what I'm saying? Like what is this? Just a whole bunch of iPads just sitting around and we all just like coloring on like what would that even look like? How would you want to, if you was to have a event where it's like you want to be able to push tech out too, so people could see it your way. How would you curate it so it's like it's fun? Because Google Workspace is fun in a way.
I'm about to say two things. One thing that I forgot to say, shout out Abdul. Abdul actually, his label, I guess, for himself is just engineer. Like he knew. But Abdul, while I was going through college at Hampton, he was at Morehouse, like taking similar classes. Like he felt the same struggle.
Right.
But his goal wasn't to be like a software engineer like me. Like he a physics guy, so he like doing physics. Still same
So he a quant. He want to be a quant.
He's building the qualities to be that.
He's
Exactly.
a quant. Okay.
Abdul, he just all around smart guy, you know what I'm saying? Very knowledgeable, and you know, he did end up like dabbling in the tech space. So shout out, bro. My bad.
Definitely
shout you out first.
Shout out Aki. You know what I'm saying?
Secondly, you asked like what the events and stuff would look like.
What would you want?
Honestly speaking, I have no answer because it's so hard to sell technology or like being on the engineering side of technology, because a lot of people just want to use it to do things. They don't necessarily care to create it.
Well, why do you think? Okay, it's so you know how like it was a wave. Everybody wanted to be like a music producer, and it's like or like they want to be a rapper. How could you, if you was this? Okay, because how would you sell somebody on this though? Because it is like it's talking of like you got the people that are interested, but how would you turn somebody's interest or give them a peek into it and be like, oh, this might be something that I would actually like doing, or like this sounds like fun. But what sounds fun to you? Do you think that you would think it sound boring in a way, or why what you're doing, or do you? But you gotta kick it like how I would kick it is like day trading is boring, but you make a lot of money fast, right? Or that's the goal if you think that. But then you start to realize like, nah, it's not like that. But if you was to be like, oh yeah, I made this type of app and this do that. Like I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people will actually like, dang, you actually like how you do that. You know what I'm saying? But they not thinking of it on that layer. They just thinking of, oh, I'm using it. Right. But once you explain it to them in a way that it's like, well, this is this and this and this, like, is there a cool way to explain it when you talk to your kids then? How about that? Like the kids that you, it's just a straight honestly, technical way.
The more you talk about it, the less attractive it becomes to people. Realistically, because as you unfold engineering, like people start to realize it's a huge time commitment because you got to learn the skill of talking to a computer through code, and you get more effective at doing it in years, not really like in days. It's not you're gonna learn how to build this app in a day. Like you gotta learn all the constructs of the language to even say something to the computer to like show this on the screen. Then you gotta learn where to pull data from and how to surface that data, and all right, when they click this button, what happens? Like all of that takes years to kind of learn. So when you explain something to somebody and they start to understand that they're not going to see the results of this investment for 5-10 years of working hard all the time, it becomes unattractive, because I think a lot of people want
stuff immediately or viral sensations and stuff. I mean, yeah, for sure.
So, but it's like, why not though? Why wouldn't they? It makes sense, but I think that's why we default to sports, rap, entertainment in general, because it's like, I'm willing to work hard or work if it's running or if it's like physical things, like people would be a little more willing to do. But I feel like if it takes just sitting there reading and staring at something and challenging yourself mentally over and over and over, people would just be like, you know what, I'm gonna just go hop in the studio. I could say something. My song is only gonna be but 2 minutes. I could probably walk this joint with a hook for half of the song. I just gotta say something with a cool beat for the other half, and that might blow if I put on TikTok and do this one. Like it's way more like I could probably cook this up in a day. Just put this in the oven and see what comes out.
But even then, like the best work that we hear, like music wise, is usually take a long time to make. But I'll say this: is it complicated? Is it that complicated that when you in elementary school you can't teach your kid a little bit about coding right now, and then you get to middle school a little bit? Because that's how sports is. You don't get to the NFL until after college too. You know what I'm saying? You got to still put that effort, that grind in. And then it's like, granted, it's a lot of people that just choose not to do this. You know what I'm saying? Choose not to do much of anything. So that's also a thing. But everything come with a risk. Even if you working at McDonald's and you dreaming of you being the manager one day, you gotta still show up every day. Yeah. So it's like, how complicated is it that people just neglected this much?
I mean, it's pretty bad. Most people look at it and don't know where to start with interpreting what they're seeing. Right. So when you already,
it's like disconnected on that
level. Exactly. It just, the very first feeling that people probably feeling is, do I care enough to learn how to even understand this? And then it's like, okay, once you understand it, it's about building the practical skills to implement and use what you learn, and that takes years. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people just get left at the gate, where it's like, I see this. For example, you see some Chinese writing on, I don't know, a building, maybe the joint on the corner. It's like, bro, do I care to like know what they say for real, or do I just
walk past it?
Yeah,
right.
Or just go in and get what I need? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like coding and stuff. Like people who just want the product, they don't really care about the process of how to create it, because they're not even thinking about doing their own thing and making it better. Like they just want to use. They see it as a tool, and it's like when it's just a tool, everything is abstracted from you. Like you don't care about how it was created, how long it took, and you're not doing the research. But for that inquisitive mind, like the people that want to follow their curiosity and all that, I think them end up being the people you can sell it to.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's people out here that do it. It's more so some people, this how I look at it too. And the reason why I even say we was YNs, and some people figured it out, some people didn't. If you tell certain ones, they might be looking at it like that. They might have been like, maybe this might be it for me. I'm just around the wrong crowd, you know. And then they hear something about it, and like, I was always interested in bank, bro. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it take sometimes to get a shift in somebody's perspective of the situation too, because it's like, we not, like I said, we not dumb around here. It's more so we just might be caught up in the wrong stuff. But if they can see that they can also make it doing something like this, you know what I'm saying, and really make it, because, like, all right, for people that don't, like, yeah, working at Google is like, it sound cool, but like, do you feel like you make more money than the average rapper? No. The average rapper around the DMV.
Yes.
All right, there we go. That's what we talking. That's what we talk about. We're not talking about the average.
I thought to.
Yeah. We this. You know how hard it is to make it out of this jump. You know how hard it is. So it's like, do you, not saying it like that, but the average DMV rapper, because what are we really working towards? Do you make more than the average trapper around here?
Right.
Yes, like, you know what I'm saying? What else are we looking at it? From what angle are we going to sit here and say, like, even clothes wise, like, you know what I'm saying? The people want to make street brands. You probably make more than them,
right?
And do less. Do you feel like you do less work at this point in your career?
I work hard and I work around the clock, so it's hard for me to say. But again, like to my earlier point, I feel like work be an opportunity though. So, for example, if I'm, let's say for 2 weeks straight, or like when I was teaching college, technically that's work, right? But did I ever feel like it was a burden, or like I didn't want to be there? Not every day. I was happy, like, dang, brother, I really get to go
show them what it's up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so from that lens, I put as much as I possibly can into it, because it's like, it's my garden. It's only going to do what I put in. So I could drag my feet and be like, yeah, I don't work that much, but the result is going to be a representation of that. It's like, nigga, you probably should work a little bit more.
Right.
You could get more out of that. So, I mean, I work hard. I feel like I'm compensated for it, and I feel like I'm working on stuff that matters. So
definitely, bro. You know, summarizing my email, it definitely is beneficial to my life. Or turning the lights on with my phone, like walking the house, doop doop.
Yeah.
turn the speaker on. Like, I mean, honestly, if I could afford it, I would have like the whole Google setup. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, to a certain extent, we gotta get to that point. Like, the people viewing it, do y'all want to be just average rappers, or do y'all want to get to the point where you can afford a Google Home and walk in your house and do? Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people had these type of dreams more than just Jordans. It's just that's what sometimes we can even just get at the time.
Yeah, it's about convincing yourself you can do it. And I was just a second ago thinking like, all right, if I'm playing a sport, right, I immediately know how good I am as soon as I pick up the ball, right? If I try to shoot a 3 and I shoot it 10 times, I know I'm not good at it. You know what I'm saying? Versus, so it's like it gives you something more concrete to work towards.
It's more physical.
Right.
Once
you get the form and all that stuff, and you start seeing it go in, then you know I'm getting better.
Right.
With coding and stuff, there is no real like metric that you could use to say you getting better. It's just like, do you understand I guess it's more in sports terms. It would be like being a coach, and you have to understand schemes and when the audible and when the. It's not the physical element. It's like the chess move. You know, understand that. All right, once I make decision A, I have to then make these decisions. If I call this on first down, I have to know what I'm gonna call this whole series because all these decisions are together. Like that's kind of how I see it. And when people face with that, I think a lot of people would be way better players than they would be coaches. So if you just on the ground kind of doing it, you the one that's moving the Amazon boxes like that. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but it's very straightforward. Right. You know what I'm saying? The construction job is probably straightforward. It's do this. But when somebody get a product manager come and be like, you have this idea for this product, you have to figure out how long that's gonna take, where to start, how to deliver a version 1, version 2, version 3, how to roll it out to this percent of users first, how to collect feedback from them and tell if it's working or not. And like, you got to come up with all these solutions to micro problems that at one point in time was just one problem, just deliver this product. But it break down to 1,000 versus a shooting a basketball. Like, that's just feeling. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get it eventually. Nobody can shoot a basketball all day long and keep doing it and not get better. Like, your body gonna have to get better. But with coding, it's like you could end up just never getting it.
So do you with tech, because it's very international. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everybody. Everybody participates in tech. All colors, all skins, all languages. Everybody participates in it, and everybody need it. So, I mean. To kind of sum up what I'm asking is, do you feel like it's on the level of like being a doctor now?
Not yet, nah.
You don't think so? Because why? Why not though? Because I feel like if you paint it in that angle, like being a doctor take that long, or being a lawyer take that long. It's one of those jobs, but I feel like it's more fun. I mean, to produce a product seems fun, more fun than me having to study the law book. But it's like everybody got different strokes. But it's like I feel like it's definitely something that like people should like when they're kids. They like you should kind of maybe I should consider doing some tech. You know,
it is specifically like software engineering. I would say it's up there with those careers. Like it serves a true necessary purpose. Given the world we live in today, I think doctor was necessary then and now.
Yeah.
Versus tech is like it's a new need for it,
new niche.
Right. So now, I say it's kind of growing to be one of those. It's just so many engineers because there's no like. The screening process is a lot different, I guess, from being like a doctor. You know, like you can't the margin for error as a doctor is very thin because that's life and death. Versus engineering, the worst that can happen is you release a bad product. And
I mean, it could be life. I mean, engineering could be life or death, especially like somebody that's using it. I mean, it's not necessary. Nah, it's not life or death like doctor. But
it's
I'm
not
saying,
like a mobile app or like what I work on. It's not. I know the worst that can happen and the best that can happen.
But you can protect. You can also manage. You can manage life. You manage lives.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Versus saving them or that brink is a managing of helping people manage their own life to a degree that people actually underappreciate. If you was this is my thing. I think somebody would rather get hit by a train than not have their phone. Like lose their phone. Like if you lose your phone, you like, bro, where's my phone? Where is it? Where is my phone? Where's my phone? Like why it's so important but such underappreciated until it's, you know what I'm saying? So like you get like that's why I have it on that level because everybody looking at this on a device that's tech, you know what I'm saying? That
no, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
It's very important, bro. I feel like a lot of people kind of sleep on this joint. It's important, get you bread. It's something. It do take a minute to get to, but when you get to it, it's so lit.
That's facts.
It's lit, bro. Because you one of them essential workers in a way. Yeah. Definitely.
That's true. That's true, bro. I can't even feel.
So I mean, we could kind of wrap it up. I got one more question. I got two more questions. This is two. You can answer whichever one you want first, but I'm gonna ask you both. What is Snell Scholars and why did you start it? And if you could invent one thing right now, what would you?
Starting with the first one, that probably be the one I answer. Snell Scholars, man, is honestly it's just me in resource form, like turning everything that I have that can be leveraged as something I offer it to students. You know what I'm saying? So any piece of knowledge I have, I say that's through Snell Scholars because I'm passing it along. Any connections I have, hey, you a Snell Scholar, I'm passing the connection. Like anything that I have acquired, I don't feel like it was just for me to sit on. You know what I'm saying? It was meant for me to use it to my advantage, try to improve it, and then pass that resource down so that the next generation or, you know what I'm saying, even passing it to people that might be older than me, like just passing along what I was blessed with, because ultimately what I have, you know, somebody probably passed it down to me. Like they taught me, they gave me a certain level of support and all that stuff so that I could be who I ended up becoming. So it's like, it's kind of on me to pass it down. So when I was in college, I did a bunch of like tutoring, teaching assistant stuff. Like I was active in the student community.
Right.
So students knew me as like, in class I was quiet. I was always getting good grades. Like when they handed tests back, I was on my stuff, but it was like, I also wore a hood and I wore AirPods and like, I wasn't social. It was like, how do I didn't see the importance of connecting, you know, my habits and who I'm becoming with everybody else that's around me. I didn't realize that if I try to better everybody around me, ultimately that'll lift me up too. So I just made the conscious decision at some point to invest in
the people around you, right?
Because that's my support system. Not even in a way where like I'm doing it to get something back. It was just, like I said, leaving it all in the field. Like, all right, if college, I don't feel right keeping this in, and if I learn something new, it's like, man, I kind of want everybody else to know about this too. It's like sharing a funny video with your man. Like, you found use out of this, so you sharing it.
Right.
It's like, who likes to just laugh at the post and then just keep scrolling?
You just keep scrolling like, ha ha.
Like, now I'm gonna send it to the guy,
yeah,
and I'm sure when you send it to them and they put a ha ha on it, you laugh again because you know what I'm saying. It's like kill, like we agree, and I think when you get a lot of that in college, and then college ends and you leave, it's like that void of. Then I once had all these connections with people who helped me grow, and I was helping them grow. It's like, how do I continue to grow now that I'm here? And you know, having teammates and stuff at Google, like you grow for sure, but like most of them are not people from our community. They don't really
they're not gonna cater.
Right. Their first thing is paying their bills and living their life. It's not necessarily staying up late and figuring out how to support other students. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I started Snell Scholars. It was just like I wanted to continue to reach this audience, and I know this audience cares a lot about their time, and they want to use their time for what they want it for. So how can I get some of their time? And it was like, all right, well, I'll flash some money in front of them. And that was like, okay, to get this money, you got to apply. And so that's what triggered like that whole flow of, all right, I'm now developing a community under me. So that's really all it's about, bro. It's just spreading awareness to people to let them know, like, I'm here, my feet on the land. Like, I really just want to help.
So do you think, because how many rounds have you done now? This would be a second. Three? All right, so
3 years, yeah.
So are they successful?
That's a good question. I don't really have the metrics to support that. To say yes.
Well, I mean, what would be the metrics? Like you would have to be like have every single person resume and what they're doing right now type vibe, or like do you feel like they are just successful human beings?
So that lead me to like figuring out, all right, what's my actual goal? Like, what am I trying to get out of it? And I don't know that I really have like a strict one where it's like I want to see
improvement from the person,
because a lot of what I needed as a student wasn't like executable stuff for a person to go do on my behalf or for me. Like I didn't need you to review my resume necessarily. Sometimes I just needed somebody that believed in me. Right. And that was enough for me to go do my resume, and for me to go, like, sometimes just building that foundation,
that camaraderie too.
That can a lot of times be it. You see a lot of people, like, when they live a life of crime, it come from feeling voids, like it's emotional. So I try to just be like, not just emotional support at all. Like I'll be teaching them stuff and like putting them through the gauntlet to try to learn and stuff. But
also being an emotional support,
right? Because that's I think the element that they don't get from their professors. It's like, this person is so smart, like they know this subject, but they have a poor way of relaying that information. So that's another aspect of like me as a resource is I've taken all of these computer science classes and math classes, and I already know the disconnect between the student and the professor. So when students tell me, yeah, I'm having trouble in this class, I already know why. You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of break that barrier down. So when I became a professor, I taught from a different angle. And I think, you know, putting all of that under Snell Scholars, I just feel like I'm taking like a Duke Dennis approach to just like, you know what I'm saying, engineering. Like, hey, we could just, we don't have to use these terms that mean absolutely nothing for real. Like, I'm gonna just explain it as if we 2 10-year-olds, you know what I'm saying, keeping it simple, like I said before. And I think that's kind of what Snell Scholars is to me. It's just like, man, let's go achieve something, and let's do it in a simple way. Like, we don't gotta overcomplicate it or reinvent nothing. It's just, man, just buckle up, and like everything from there, I can lead you to success, bro, if you really follow it and like, you know, do what you gotta do. I really feel like that. So that's what that's about. It's me putting on like a mentor hat and a teacher hat formally, jumping out there and making myself uncomfortable so I can learn more to teach more.
So basically, when it comes to the Snell scholars, because when I first seen it like this, and then when I hear you talk about bro that went to Howard, I forgot his name, it was Osei. Like, and I remember like Nip, he had like before he passed, he had like some technology type school type aftercare program type junk. You know what I'm saying? How, like, do you see yourself kind of bridging back to this community to build something like that, to kind of get it going in a way where it's like kids could come, like middle schoolers or something could come around the area from the, you know what I'm saying, they come and show up and play on the computers and get kind of in touch with what the coding is. Like, I mean, from my aspect, I see now that you're helping the college kids with like tuition assistance and guidance and speaking to them directly. So that's where I see it at right now. But like, where do you see this in the future? Do you see you just staying like this, or do you see yourself branching out into something like I said, or do you see it in another way where it's like Google is kind of starting to help you with Snell scholars in a way, like you're like your brand has an internship automatically coming to Google because of the work you put in? Like, do you think about it like that, or do you just take it day by day?
Day by day, because with stuff that like you want to be big, you gotta have a very like concentrated, specific goal, because like two goals can sound the same, but they require like
mass differences, right? Yeah.
So just being super intentional about
where you at right now.
So when I refine my goal and say, okay, these 10 words, it clearly explain what my goal is, I want to make sure that that's going to remain the same. Because once I put in all this legwork, staff the right people, all this, I don't want to have to like rebrand and be like, you know what, we're actually not going to do that. We're going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, then because the people kind of dictate where it's going to go.
Right.
So I haven't really like narrowed it down, because I have mentors that have their own like nonprofits and stuff, and seeing what they do is like, how do I want to be different, or do I really want to be different, or am I just trying to do the same exact thing? And I think like that's a self problem, just like figuring out what is the exact problem I'm trying to fix. And I say like right now, the problem is just continuing to basically just validating students that I know are headed in the right direction, but still need assistance, and maybe go to an institution where like I know what they facing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Somebody applied to my scholarship from Bowie State, Morgan State, and stuff like that. I know, because I come from the community, what they face. They might be a strong student, but I know it takes more than just being strong.
They might still have a distraction.
Exactly.
Right.
It takes also being supported and having the opportunity to talk to an engineer from Google and talk to learn like what career opportunities look like, to learn whether you even, want to do this role versus this role. Like, just being there as the human, like Chat GPT, to answer these questions that Chat can't answer better than me.
Basically, because Chat get confused sometimes.
Chat don't know nothing but what we tell it to know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can be the person and say, bro, actually, after 4 years of working at Google, like this tell you it is, it's not actually that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can, like, that's where I want to be. But to answer the question of like where I want to go with it, I mean, I know I want to touch more
college
impact more
students.
people.
I think you want to still stick with college at the moment,
right,
though, for sure.
But I like driving deep into a student's life, because I feel like that's where the gold is at. Like, you just digging that, picking that what's on the top, you getting grass and dirt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could work with that, you could probably do something with that, but I gotta learn the person first, and then kind of build them up and play off of what they already strong in, and see their weaknesses as like opportunities to grow, as opposed to things holding them back. So for me, it's hard to say I'm gonna have a cohort of 25 students, because how realistic is it for me to really work with 25 people on that level? Like, I gotta sort of low balance depth with breadth. Like, do I want to just impact across the U.S., schools across the U.S., or do I want to specifically target HBCUs in the DMV and have more refined metrics to say it went from this to this?
I mean, yeah, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. I feel like it'll come to you easier, I guess, the more that you go through it, like you say, day by day. But how I see it too is that, like, honestly, Coach Snell is a vibe. Like, especially like having the tech kids competing, like having, like, it's got, like you said, bro, because when you look at it from the angle of kids that don't perform well in sports, you can still kind of put that competitive nature in coding, but it's just a way, if you know how you teach it, however you teach it, however you even breaking it down to them in simple terms. I feel like that'd be something cool to also kind of dabble into that would get a lot of people interested in tech, because like even with the game, right, you see how streaming is a thing now, and like back in the day, if somebody said they was a gamer, they like, what you know, like, yeah, we played the game, all right, cool, we played the game, but you better go be competitive about this, you know what I'm saying? Now it's streamers, right, and they all play the game, and some play competitively, like it's Madden Bowl and all that stuff. So like, I think it's still a range where it's like people can be competitive, like whoever decide they want to make the best app, or you know what I'm saying, or I got this amount of money for whoever come out with this, because like you already offering scholarships, so it's like people like you say, people compete for anything. People eat hot dogs, like 1,000 hot dogs for $1,000 or something. Whatever they do, the glizzy challenge, bro. Like people do anything for some bread. Yeah. So I feel like if you could also motivate some high schoolers that's already in like science and tech or something like that. I don't know if they even, but like they interested in stuff like that. So like that would be also a great avenue too to kind of build your brand up a lot more, because it's already established. You already who you are. It's just like, now can we get more people passionate about it, like how you're passionate about it, because it's not everybody can't play a sport, and everybody not going to make it that day, and we need to figure out something else other than rapping.
The thing is, like, it's kind of like two problems. One problem is forming a team in such an area where, like, in order to be effective as part of, let's say I'm building the Snell Scholars leadership team, the sort of baseline qualities, one would have to be able to code. You know what I'm saying? Like, it requires such specialized knowledge to be an effective leader in this space that you it gets to a point where you feel like you're just looking for yourself.
You're looking for a different type version of yourself,
and
right?
That's so hard to like either let go of or find it, because it's like, I know what these students need. They need somebody who could be Duke Dennis, and they need somebody that could be Elon Musk. You know, right. They need that in one, and they also, but what I need is that, but I also need somebody that's not trying to turn what I have into their own thing. Right? And like, it becomes so much of a hassle that I just be like, I'ma just wear all the hats, and not from like an arrogant perspective, but just to protect the intent behind what I've started. It's like students have like really poured their heart out explaining like the impact that like me having a relationship with them has had. So it would hurt me if I sort of substitute myself out for another person that I put my faith in, and this student no longer feels supported, or like, now I got a different problem in my hands. And it's so in one hand, it's just like protecting
the integrity of the brand, for sure.
Because where it's at right now, I'm the only one that could mess up. If I mess up, cool, I can take that on the chin. But it's like when you start
involving others,
other people, you might get. I've never been a CEO. I'm a founder, but I'm not a CEO. I've never really employed people and expected them to deliver because I know, and you know, employees, bruh, it's just tricky because you, as an employee, I know what it's like to be one, and I know sometimes I don't feel like delivering. Some weeks I don't feel like delivering. Some months I don't feel like. How do I deal with that as the CEO? Right. When I got somebody who don't want to deliver, but the product is delivering excellence to a student. If they not trying to do that job, then it's like, bruh, you're not just dragging your feet as an employee. This student don't get the support they need, and that could impact the people that would need them in the future. It's like, I see it as such a deep topic that I'm so like nervous to even take a gamble and screw it up.
Right. Well, nah, you not. If you look at it from that angle, then you're not gonna screw it up. So we just can't wait to see what you got next for us. Then if we look at it from that angle,
I'm gonna cook up, bro. I'm gonna cook something up. But it is ultimately about having that team, though. Once the team is there, and you know who you got, it's like now I can start game planning. But when you ain't even draft nobody, you can't even scheme.
Yeah. You basically just like an owner with just a team name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get it. You know what I'm saying? But exactly. I mean, you got credentials and you have, like you say, you've done 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people already understand what it is, what it's not. You know what I'm saying? Is this the most recent?
Yeah. Shout out my Snell scholars from 2024, man. And I love these students right here. They really remind me of myself, and you know, when I select these students, I want the absolute best for them, and I think they got the potential to be way greater than I ever was, and that's why, you know, they sitting up there pinned to the profile, bro. Like they the future.
Yeah, this the future right here, and the proof is in the pudding that there's people out here that's doing this, man. You ain't gotta sit there and be like, ain't nobody doing that. How your phone work? Your phone is working right now because of brilliant minds, and you could be a brilliant mind one day if you take the time out. And next thing you know, you could be sitting right here explaining your side. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, bro, for coming on to do the interview. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to give you your flowers while you was still here and making it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And giving people like Anderson and my girl, you know what I'm saying, Miss King. I wish I could say your name, sweetheart, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all got a good mentor, a good coach in front of y'all. You know what I'm saying, Coach Snell, the leader of the tech gurus in the area. You know what I'm saying. Appreciate y'all. Let's give it up. Let's give it up, right? And we gonna rock out to our job.
No competition.
We gonna get check on the interview. Oh, that's why you like check. His name check, right? You can check with him, man.